Okay, we'll talk about Johnny Scoville over here. He's done 2 jumps and he thinks he's badass. So you let us know. Wait a minute. You let us know if he's ready. You let us know if he's ready for a wingsuit.
That's a great idea.
Okay,
Yeah,
I want to see the comment section.
Yeah, I do too.
They want to see a gasoline fire. They're going to say, do it, do it, do it. They're going to say, jump, jump.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Classic Firearms podcast channel, and we have some special guests with us today from Blazing Foods, Johnny Scoville, and this guy. I don't know him.
Kaya. I'm not important.
Well, guys, welcome to the podcasting studio.
Oh, thanks so much for having us, man. This is a great time. We enjoy hanging out with you guys a lot.
It's always fun. I had a great time last
time, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You had
Hilarious.
Come on, you enjoyed yourself.
Well, did
For a
I
moment.
look like I enjoyed myself?
For a
We
moment.
enjoyed
enjoyed seeing it.
That's what it was. You guys enjoyed seeing
You know, on
me.
the way home, I said later in the afternoon, I said, I wonder how they're doing. They're thinking about us right now. Remember that?
Not only thinking about us, but talking
Well,
about us.
everybody
Probably
here-
in very unsavory terms as well.
Everybody here, they were and they are very excited about you guys. When it comes to me, which we're going to talk about some of the hot stuff from Blazing Foods, I'm not.
But some of the other stuff you are.
That's right.
There
Exactly,
you
which
go.
we'll talk about.
That's the reason we brought it. It was a peace offering from last time. That's really what it was.
Well,
It was the olive branch
I
right
could
there,
use
Kaya.
some. Yeah.
We're making up. We're making up
That's
for a
awesome.
bad experience.
But
Corrective experience.
corrective experience, you're right. Hey, you guys are helping me kind of get to know myself better.
Right?
Okay,
Self-discovery.
let's just say self-discovery over here. But before we get there, why don't you guys go ahead and talk about yourselves, who you are, like a little background, just so people know who you are.
I'm Johnny Scoville. I'm just a chili head, you know. I eat hot stuff, and that's what I do. I started my channel about 8 years ago for fun. Yeah. No intention. Like, honestly, I didn't have an agenda. I just made a video, and then it kind of did really well. So people said, make another. So 8 years later, 25 million views, and, you know, 142,000 people that have hit that button.
We're on YouTube?
Yep. And
Nice.
I've been in a Netflix special a couple of years ago called We Are the Champions, and I'm in a reality show right now on Hulu and Disney Plus called Super Hot, the Spicy World of Pepper People.
Wait, and bless you. What, he's thought about some hot stuff and started sneezing.
I felt that building about 3 minutes ago. I knew it was coming. I didn't know when it was going to pop, though.
That's awesome. So what is this Hulu show about?
It's a kind of we pulled back the curtain and let the average the average person who has no idea about this subculture kind of a peek behind and let them see what the chili world is all about. And I go on a quest around the country trying to find the hottest pepper in the world.
It's an epic journey.
Around the
really
country or
is.
the world?
It's a
The
hero's
country.
journey.
I've done the world thing a couple times since I started the channel, but the show itself is just in the U.S.
In the U.S. Okay.
It was a lot of fun.
Which pepper is the hottest pepper you've found so far?
In the show, the hottest pepper is not the hottest pepper that I've ever eaten, but the hottest pepper that was in the show was a 7-pot Primo, which is a pipe. It's piping hot pepper. In fact, it's what some of the
7-pot
products we
Primo.
have are made of.
That's it right there.
You bet. That's the actual powder right there. It's ridiculously, absurdly hot. But
Wait.
And it tastes great
Oh, it
compared
really
to the other
does.
super hot
Don't
peppers
get
out
this
there.
close to me.
it really does taste good. It has a beautiful floral taste. It doesn't. Some pepper powders, honestly, have a dirty aroma.
Yeah.
Bitter, and it looks like something you swept up from the inside of like a chili factory. That has a beautiful floral, amazing flavor. But the hottest pepper I've ever eaten is a chocolate primatale, a Louisiana creeper, and a pepper called the Omega Pod. Are all about the same, and they're just very, very hot.
So real quick, and I don't want to cut anybody off or anything, but so just for people who are fans of the channel or our other channels and have seen us, consume a fair number of your products, y'all know that we like our Blazing Foods products. They've featured a couple times on different challenges, especially on our Outside the Warehouse channel. And going to that flavor question, I think that's one of the really kind of cool things about y'all's products, because you really do taste a pepper, like a food in the product, as opposed to it just being blisteringly hot and nothing else. So I think like when you eat some of the crack balls, the cheese balls, I really enjoy them as snacks because they're legitimately good tasting as opposed to just being a super bitter hot food.
I think it's a great observation. I think that's lost on a lot of people who eat the product. They don't realize, you know what I mean? one of the things that David Foy is amazing at is doing exactly that. Like if you eat these, the Hatch Green, you really will taste Hatch pepper. It's not just heat with a little bit of color. When you taste, for instance, last time we were together, you even did it. We ate one of the ghost pepper balls. You really do taste. It isn't just heat. You really do taste the ghost pepper.
That was tasty, right? It
Yep.
was tasty. It kind of peaked real fast. I was like, whoa, this thing's a little hot. And then it just went down just as fast, right?
Yep.
I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Now, when it revisited you the next day, did it do the same thing? No, I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be funny. Did it hurt you real quick and then go away, or did that linger?
The next day. Yeah. So it visited me the next day and just wouldn't want to just leave.
Uninvited
with
guests
You know,
won't leave.
just try to move in. Try to move in.
Right.
Had a duffel bag with him. Just, you know what? I ain't leaving. So I had
Squatter,
to
man.
Yeah.
Hey, but
So
let
I
me
had
ask you
to fight.
something. Which one of the shows did you do where you parachuted? Tell about that.
Wait.
That was actually for the Netflix.
Was it
Yeah,
Okay.
the Netflix special. I jumped out of it was interesting. I jumped out of an airplane and ate 10 Carolina Reapers while skydiving.
Free falling or
No, free fall. Well, I only ate 5 during the free fall, to be fair. The other 5 I ate after the canopy opened. But it was funny because when I told them, I said, listen, I want to jump out of an airplane. I called the drop zone and told them I was going to do it. They said, you can't. I said, do you have a rule that I can't, or you think I'm not able to? They said, I don't think you can do it. I said, there's no rule? They said, no. I said, I'll see. When can I go? They said, Saturday. I was there.
was that the first time you?
No, I'd actually jumped 2 times prior, but I'm not a skydiver. So
Okay.
what made it fun was that it was a very big
It was a
step out.
tandem jump then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the very first time I ever jumped was 20 years ago, and it was not. It was an accelerated AFF accelerated free fall.
First jump, you jumped alone.
Well, no, you have 2 people jump with you, a primary jump master and a secondary jump master. It's called the AFF
I see. So they
program.
jump with you, but they're not on you.
At 5,000 feet, you do this so that they are aware that you are aware of where you're
Okay.
at. And then when you do that, they let go of you, track away from you, and then you dump your own man on your own. But,
That's cool.
But because I was doing it for making the jump for a show, I didn't want to risk that. So I just had a cameraman go with us.
And what did you do to the cameraman before you left the airplane?
Oh, that was interesting. Well, that was actually the one for the first one. I ate. It was crazy. We're in the plane. I was just teasing. I said, I brought a bunch. Who wants
No,
one?
he's strapped up to this guy.
I'm strapped to him. He's sitting behind me, and we're attached, right? And I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And I'm like, I don't know if he's ever eaten a pepper before. I said, I brought a bunch for everybody. Who wants one? And this fool grabs it and goes, I'll take it, and shoves it in his mouth. I'm not. It's on video. The video. I looked at him. I'm like, whoa, are you serious? He had trouble. He did the blink. You know the blink I'm talking about. Yeah, you know. He did the blink. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Let me ask you something. Did it not cross your mind that would be a bad idea?
Well, I did.
Because this is the guy that's taking care of you and your safety to make sure you make it to Earth.
It was a horrific idea, but I never thought for a second
Anyone would take you
that
up.
he was going to take me up on it. So we turned the camera off, and like literally within 60 seconds, I'm in the doorway, and we go out. And we do the jump. It was perfect. Everything went fine. I didn't drop any of the peppers. I did 3 the first on that jump, and we landed. And he had a face shield on. We landed, and the first thing he said was, he goes, Johnny, I smelled peppers the whole skydive. And we're going 120 miles an hour, and he still smelled it. But yeah, it was a...
So that seems like that would be a risk to me. I mean, you said he has a face shield, which is good because, like, you know, think about it. You got that air rushing past you as you're falling, and you go to bite a pepper, and then just like seeds or something
juice
comes back into your
Right.
tandem guy's face.
Did you have goggles?
Oh yeah, probably had, right?
I did... I don't remember. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I did or not.
But even with goggles, I mean, your eyes are certainly a super sensitive spot, but your nose, your mouth.
Well,
like-
I didn't think about it at all. When I did the second one for the Netflix special, the first one didn't make it into a show at all. It was just for fun. The second one made it into the Netflix special. It was a woman who was my instructor, who I was attached to. When we landed, she said, "You did it." And we did a high five. She said, "Man, what would have happened if you had choked?" And I never even crossed. I never even thought of it. And then I was like,
Or if your jump partner maybe passed out from the pain of the
I
heat.
said, right? I said, what would you have done if I had choked? I said, could you have given me a Heimlich? She goes, no, I could have done a thing for you. I could have tried, but I would have gotten you to the ground.
Wow.
Well,
that sounds like a quite interesting but fun time.
when you made 6,000 videos, you start looking for things to do. So
Yeah.
I got some other crazy ideas coming.
You gonna share that with us or? I don't know.
Do any of them
for
involve
sure.
jumping over sharks? Just
No, oddly enough.
Oh wait, you know
Do
what?
you want to?
That's probably
that one?
that might be a cultural touchstone that you're not familiar with. So there was a TV show that spawned a phrase called "jumping the shark." It's when things get more and more ridiculous to keep things going.
Oh, I was like, I took that literally. Okay.
Well,
Well,
I did too.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
What?
There's this place in the Bahamas where for generations, like several generations, they've been hand feeding these sharks.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to get into a cage. Like the same time of day, these things show up like with a dinner napkin. They're ready to
Yeah.
eat. They know it's dinner time, so
Yeah.
they don't bite anybody. But they're great whites. These are great
Yeah.
whites. So I was gonna go there and eat a pepper underwater with a great like swim by me with a great. I think that would make an amazing video. But my business partner here is
A little more practical and logical about things regarding life-threatening situations.
he doesn't like that idea. I think it's a great one. But I do have some other good ideas coming.
It would be captivating. I don't know that sounds like a good.
I
it
can
would
hold
be
my breath
captivating.
for a freakishly long time, like a couple minutes. So
It's
I think
not gonna help
it
you
could.
when you're getting eaten by a shark. But go ahead. Go
He'd
ahead.
take one bite. I'd be too spicy. He'd let me go.
Fringe,
Well,
listen,
I think
fringe
one bite is
benefits.
enough.
It's funny that he brings that up that way because last night, what did we watch? We're on YouTube and we're watching videos about shark attacks and orca whales and all of this. And I didn't think about it, but think about that, what we watched last night before you kind of lock in on that.
You think
Let's
that
go
for
feed the
generations
sharks.
they've been coming there getting a handout, and Scoville shows up, and they're gonna all of a sudden it's a smorgasbord.
Yeah, because
I'm
what
safe.
if
I'm
they're
safe.
extra hungry? I mean, you don't know. Maybe they're like, hey, this guy looks good. Let's just see what's happening.
I'd take the risk.
Well,
Well,
I mean, if you do that, I'll watch it. Just saying.
I will
I'm
say
trying
that
to talk him out of
They,
it.
they
Okay.
normally say that when humans feed animals, right? Like they become expecting of the food. So when people show up without the food, that's what causes a lot of animal attacks. Is they're expecting that you
that
have
makes
something,
sense, yeah.
and then you're keeping it from them.
Give me food
So
or else
I'd
you
have
gotta
an offering.
give me
I'd
food.
give him like a mackerel or something
Yeah.
while I eat my pepper. We'll be good.
A mackerel.
Okay. Well, so that's one of the ideas.
Just one of them. I got a couple other good ones. I really do. I got.
The bungee. The bungee.
I got a great. I got the bungee.
Okay,
Have you ever seen the? A couple ideas of bungee. Have you ever seen the vomit comet? Here's one of my big ones. The vomit comet.
No.
Yeah.
NASA training.
It's the
Zero
plane
G.
that zero gravity.
Oh, dude, I want to
Yeah,
do that.
yep.
Okay.
Zero gravity train.
You can go with me. So here's the deal.
I'll go with you.
Good. Here's what we're gonna do.
I would do that.
100%. I'll do it.
I'm not down with the sharks. though.
It's a great idea. So I
Well,
want to
real
eat.
quick, well, let's explain that in case somebody at home doesn't know what it is. So basically, to simulate zero gravity, it flies very steeply up and then down in a very steep angle, so that as you're kind of free falling, you get the feeling. Of
I think
zero
it's
gravity.
60 seconds, right? Is
Well,
it?
go. Yeah, it starts
so
at 50,
goes-
55,000 feet, which is
Yeah.
like 20,000 feet higher than commercial airlines. And it's
Yeah.
a hollowed out 737 that's padded. There are seats in the first 2 or 3
Yeah.
rows, and the rest of the plane is just a hollow padded tube.
Yeah.
Do they have
And
little
what hap-
straight jackets to go with it, or
I don't know, man, but here's what they do. I read about it. So the first one, they go down it's not a very steep one. And they go into a dive. It's called a parabolic dive.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is the first one just simulates what it's like if you're on the moon. And you kind of get a feel for that. Then they go steeper and what it's like when you're on a different. And then they go full straight. And that's how they filmed Apollo 13. All right, they didn't send some actors to space for a movie. All those floating scenes were done in that tube. So, but it's called the vomit comet because apparently, if you do that, you go up there for 3 or 4 hours. I don't care who you are. By hour 3, you're seeing what you ate earlier.
Really?
That's what they say.
Okay.
I don't think I will. I got a pretty iron stomach, so I think I'd be
I'll
good.
just go with an empty
but
stomach then.
I think I'm never going to go to space. I don't think it's going to happen. But I would, and we've talked about that, I would jump in that thing today if they gave me a chance. But this is the closest I'm going to get to eating something in weightlessness. So
And
I
is
want to
this-
do that.
Is this okay? This is just an idea, or is this kind of in the works?
No, well, you know what? The first season of the Super Hot, we were this close to doing it. But it was
Dude, take me.
here's the
I'm
problem.
not even joking. Freaking take
Here's
me.
the problem with it.
What do I got to do?
It's like $8,000 a person.
Okay.
All right, for 3 hours, you get 30 minutes of weightlessness. Or no, excuse me, you get an hour of weightlessness in the entire
Total.
Yeah, an hour.
That's
so
pretty
they do
cool.
like
That'd be
60.
fun.
You get a minute each time.
Yeah.
But that would be insane. I mean, the reason we didn't do it, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to have anybody else in the plane but me. So it would have cost them like close to $100,000 to pull off this one thing. They didn't want other people in it. It would require, photographer.
I'll be there as
tracking
like
equipment.
the production assistant or something.
And what do you do with the camera guys? What do you Velcro them to
That's
the wall or
right.
something? I mean,
Exactly.
how do we do
Yeah.
this thing?
Probably.
I'm just part of the,
Yeah.
I'm just part of the
You
crew.
stay
It's a
there.
possibility. Sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Why do I got?
But tell me, so that's one of the other things. I've got some other ideas. But
I think that's really cool. That in the weightless.
see, you want to. I can all of a sudden, Kaya's like all of a sudden like,
well, that's okay. I'm very into planes.
You talk about
It's one
that
of
being
my-
part of the NASA training. So something else like like the G-force simulator, the chair that spins around.
Ooh.
I'd like
oh,
that.
yeah.
That would be fun. The only problem that I think you'd probably end up spraying pepper if you ate something in it.
No, you don't. There's no spraying because you're in a capsule.
Well, when you vomit, there'll be spray involved, for sure.
That's for sure. If
Yeah.
you do that, yeah.
Well,
You got- consider that variable, right?
I would like to do that though. I would love to do that.
But that one you like pass out. I
So
wonder
what?
if. And by the way, you're supposed.
You've been knocked
to,
out before, right?
Oh, I've never been. I've been rocked. Never knocked.
It's very
out.
I've been
defensive.
knocked
I've never
smooth
been
out.
knocked out.
a hand-
have been?
Oh, sure.
No, dude, I took one.
Several times.
I took. I mean, I took one. I got punched a lot in my face, but I took one
It's such a
really hard
punchable
punch,
face.
dude. This dude just like I never saw it coming. Just boom, hit me,
Those are the worst kind.
and I was just like, whoa, like all I knew is I just clench him. I just like
Right, yeah,
clenched
get
the
hold.
guy,
Yeah.
got a hold of him, and
Forgot where you were for a sec. You're just like,
No, I knew exactly where I was.
It just dazed you.
It's just like he hit me so hard, it never hurt. I felt no pain at all.
Right.
He's just like, and I was just like,
Your
grabbed him,
hearing
and he
changes,
Just,
everything
it's like
changes.
hitting me, right? But those didn't matter.
Do you have the ringing in your ears? Do you have
It
any?
was just like this. Just imagine like you're in your drunkest moment, like it was like floating kind of thing, right? And but that's it. Never been clean and blacked out.
I had a couple times skiing where I just out like a hard crash and you wake up like 5 minutes later. A couple car crashes where that happened. Got hit once. In a
You went through a windshield, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a
Did
bad
a little
one.
bit of back damage. And
Yeah.
So what would you say to people about seatbelt?
You know what? Here's the craziest thing. No, I'm the bad guy to talk about it because in every other time I've ever been to a crash, it saved my life. That one I would have been dead if I had it on because it rolled into a pile of the car rolled 4 times and ended up rolling into a pile of logs that somebody had bought that they were going to be cut.
Crushed. That would crushed
Yeah,
you?
it went. One of them was going into the car. It would have been horrible. I would have gone through my face. But yeah, things happen the way they
No,
happen.
that does. I mean, I've seen people, and I know we're jumping all over, which I will bring it back to center. But
I
I've seen-
can't wait to see how you neck it back in. I'm waiting.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
watching.
this is
How's he
what I
going to
do.
bring
He's a
this back?
master.
This is literally what I
He's
do.
a master. That's what we do. We're weaving a story here.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen people, like people always ask, like, "Wait, drunk people, why don't they just get hurt or die in like really fatal looking crashes? It's because they're just
So
so
relaxed.
loose.
They're
right?
limber. They're
just like-
putty.
yeah, they're just like bouncing
Moldable.
around like no big deal. And so just like tighten up the G force that kind of explodes your organs and stuff like that, right? I was in this specific, they do. In Rockford, your old stomping grounds.
I never lived there. What are you talking about?
Exactly. I thought you were a missionary there.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Oh,
he
it
said
was the
Russia. It was
missionary over
Russia.
there.
No, I really was. It was in Loves Park.
You
Was the
just-
place.
I see.
Then I went to Russia, but the home office was in Loves Park. True story. I wouldn't lie.
You ran to Russia?
I
Or you
ran a marathon in Russia, but no, we went to Russia.
Ran to
separately.
Russia.
That's what I did on my first trip. I ran a marathon.
Kyle, there's these things called oceans. I'm not
Right.
sure.
They're big too. Some of them
Yeah.
are pretty big. Right.
ran. Just ran away. But anyways, so in Rockford, there was this crash that I responded to. Bad one. I mean, just dude was flying, lost control, hit a tree.
Ah.
You get there, the car is U, basically, like that U
Wrapped
shape.
around it.
Driver's side too. As I'm on scene, literally this is the first on scene. I guess they called it. I was 2 blocks away. I just got that. In fact, I even heard it. I think like it was just weird commotion. Get there, this dude only his 2 feet are inside the car. Doors mangled but open, driver's side, and he's like face down. It's a snowy day. His face is in the snow. He's kind of like moving a little bit, but his feet are still by the pedals, like he's out. Imagine that.
Contorted.
Yep, exactly. But the car is like in a U, like
Like
back.
in a million times, that could never happen again.
Exactly. And then I look at the front passenger side. There's nothing wrong with the passenger side. Like it's almost the car went bent all the way to the center console, right? But the passenger side is
Fine.
still fully intact.
That's bizarre.
And this woman,
Still sitting there?
seat belted. The dude wasn't seat belted, right? The woman is sitting.
Funny look on her face. I mean,
No, she's asleep, right? She's not.
So is
she's
he.
not with us. But he's moving. So I'm like, what? Hey, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm. The heck happened? I'm like, whatever. He gets up.
he
gets
asked you
more
what
drunk.
happened.
Yeah.
He asked one more for the road. He thought you were the bartender.
He's so drunk. He gets up. Nothing wrong with him. He's bleeding just a little bit right here. Like nothing crazy, right? He gets up. He's like, oh, what happened? I was like, you all right?
happened?
What's going on? He's like, that's my girlfriend right there. I was like, stand by right here. Other units are coming over. Trying to talk to her. She's not waking up. And paramedics get on scene. She's pronounced dead on scene.
No way.
Wow.
Not a scratch on this woman. Still strapped
And she's
to their
dead.
seat. She's dead.
He got
Autopsy,
flung out.
Organs
attack?
exploded. Like literally internally, G-force exploded her
Do you,
freaking
do, you,
organs.
do you think that's what happened to Dale Earnhardt in his crash? Because everybody looks at that NASCAR crash and says, well, it didn't look like he hit the wall so hard, but
G-force.
Interesting.
G-force.
Dude, that G-force, because he
Is it
didn't
kind of
have
like
this-
the concussion from the shock wave of an explosion? How it can pull? Because I've heard that. Well, oftentimes people that are close to an explosion, the concussion will do the same, liquefy their organs. Is it a similar
That's
sort of
literally-
thing?
From
literally it's
bombs
'cause-
and
yeah.
explosions? Yeah.
That's why nowadays, like they build cars, especially one of those like high-end cars. When you hit somewhere,
Crumple zones. They absorb all that.
it absorbs because you don't want that energy, your body to absorb the energy. Because you can look as pretty as she was, right? She not a scratch, guys.
Wow.
Not like she looked
amazing.
just like us. Her cabin area, no problems, right? She's just like that, like sleeping. Her organs exploded because it's not really the trauma. Sometimes it is, right? But it's the sudden stop. that
Rapid
kills you.
deceleration.
Sudden stop that kills you. Okay, so going back to you being inside that capsule, you really are going to experience a lot of G-force depending on how much they're going to
I
give you,
thought
right?
that was a we thing. All of a sudden, it's a you thing again. I thought we were doing
I'm
this.
He
just gonna
switched
watch
gears
you.
on you a little bit right
Yeah,
there.
I'm just gonna
didn't
watch you there. I'll be in the G-force.
I won't
No,
make
not
you
the
anything hot.
zero
But man,
gravity.
that would be fun. You know it would be.
But you know, over there you have to hold your breath. Like not hold your breath. Like you have to make
Clench your
sure that
core.
you like clench your core so your blood doesn't leave your brain.
Well, the fighter pilots have
Right,
pants
yeah.
that have inflate with air to squeeze their legs
Yeah.
to force the blood into their keep the blood in their torso so they don't go out during high G-force turns.
That's right.
Even race car drivers have that, I think, don't they?
I'm not sure they
On
use the
high
inflatable
banks?
bladders, but yeah, it's
I mean, the Formula One guys probably experience the highest G's.
probably about 4G on a,
Yeah,
on a
because
Formula
they brake.
One.
Because you know their brake pedals are super.
Their deceleration is, yeah, it's
heavy,
crazy.
super heavy. So it's the G-force that allows them to hit the brakes even better. They're like that. But those turns, these guys like turn. I don't know, 200 miles an hour. They just
That's
turn.
insane.
It's insane, exactly. But going back to that, so you're gonna. That's another
That's one of
idea.
them. It's just one of them. If you guys have any ideas, we'll talk about it. I'm always looking for some good ones.
I'll think about it while we're doing this.
Something like a passenger in a NASCAR
We
car.
already got that too. That's another one. We already got that. That's another
So,
one.
did you guys ever see that commercial? It was, I think, Mario Andretti and Donald Trump in a tandem seat Formula One car, and they blocked off like half of downtown New York, right, New York City. Trump jumps in the back, like, so I got to get somewhere quick, and Mario Andretti just tore out through the city.
That's
That was
funny.
so cool. I told John, I said, we got to do that.
It's it's a Formula One open wheel, but it's
Yeah.
out of back seat. Usually it's just one
like
seat.
like a fighter pilot kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
a,
Yeah, same
And he
thing, yeah.
climbs in the back. So that's another one on the list.
dude.
That's on the list. Listen, when I
So
tell you,
fighter jet in the backseat.
when I tell you, I've thought of everything.
Oh wait, there's a company in Seattle.
To
This
get
guy-
in a ride in an F-16 or a MiG.
No, not that. That they have this just a Cessna-looking, twin. What was that? Wings. You know those two wings. on the
biplane.
Biplane.
It's a biplane.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You get on top of it. They strap you.
Oh, you
You're
stand
on
like
it.
a barn
You stand
stormer.
on it, and they just fly
No.
you around.
I'm out.
I do that.
I'm out. No.
I would do that in a heartbeat. You
Yeah.
know I would.
I know you
people-
would. Yeah,
It's super
something's wrong
safe.
with
People
you.
do it all the time. They pay for it.
It's super safe. See, I like this
It's
guy.
super.
As
I
in-
like that.
What about it is super safe?
As
Help
in
me
it has never
understand that
crashed.
concept.
Nobody's ever died from
Let's go step by step. So you get strapped to the top of an airplane.
Right.
They're going to fly with you strapped to the top of the airplane.
You're stuck in a
And-
harness.
and-
Nothing can
I mean,
go
That's
wrong.
right.
what sounds unsafe about that?
But let me just ask you a simple question, guys.
Listen, if the
How
plane
many-
crashes, you're dying whether you're strapped on the top of that thing or
That's
sitting
right.
in behind the
That's
pilot.
my
It doesn't
point.
make
How
any
many
difference.
small aircraft crashes and in fatalities annually? It's more than one.
You have
It's-
experience with it.
And I do. I fly.
Aren't biplanes wickedly stable?
Well, yeah, because you can fly them at low speed. Now I fly. I haven't gotten to the point where I have enough hours to get my license yet, but I fly.
Okay,
So,
good.
And,
I like.
and I enjoy that. But doing that,
See, but that's so, like, I know people who have done it, right? They're so, when I say they're so safe, as in, there's no news of them crashing, right?
Right.
Somebody like, because the touristic
Yet.
activity, maybe it could be with you. Hopefully not.
I also want to do wingsuit. I want to do that really bad.
Dude.
But everybody that loves me has a problem
no,
with
no,
that.
no, no. I'll tell you right now.
She's like,
Do
no,
not,
no, no, no,
because
no.
that requires, now, I don't want to sound like an expert here, but from what I see, and I've watched a lot of those crazy videos, years of freaking training. Like, you can't, in order for you to get there, you got to do so much more that, it's like driving a Formula One car. You better start driving a little go-kart first.
And that's where they
For
all
years.
start. Everybody starts there,
Yeah,
right?
you
And
gotta
then
do a
they
lot
move
of things.
The
gradually,
only
slowly.
problem-
He wants to jump straight to it. He told me, "No, I'm doing it.
Well, no, here's the thing.
You will crash.
I have to do it though. You don't understand. I mean, I'm not looking to like thread a needle and do something stupid like from Jump Street, but I'm going to do it.
You'll crash. Like, I mean, I don't want to. I'm just.
No,
I'm
why
not
would you
joking.
say such a thing?
Words of encouragement from Gaia.
Because, well, listen, I'm a risk taker, but I calculate shit, right? That one requires a shit ton of not just training, experience. Like, it's like a Formula One car. If you get in one right now, you're gonna crash the damn thing. You have to start with a very low power go-kart and do a lot of things, learn a lot of things for years before you get there. Anybody who does jumpsuit right now, what is that? Jumpsuit, right?
Wingsuits.
Wingsuit, sorry, wingsuit. Ask them, how much experience do they have? They'll tell you, oh, I've jumped 1,000 here, I did this. Like, they'll just say so many
Exactly.
things before they got there.
Drive that
gonna do
home
it.
because he's
Yeah.
wanting to go do this.
I'm
like,
gonna do it.
like soon.
But I guess my question is what kind of experience, right? Because like driving a go-kart at a base level is the same as driving a Formula One car. Like the idea of steering wheel, pedal, and stuff. Now, certainly you need to have like reaction time, and there's going to be
It's
differences
so
between
second
driving
nature.
between one thing like a
Skydiving.
go-kart and.
Yeah.
But what previous experience do you build off of for a wingsuit?
Exactly.
I
Where
can
you
tell you
You
this.
jump
Like
off
maybe
your
a hang
second
glider.
No,
story
paraglider,
house,
you do a bunch
maybe.
of different things, dude.
No, but
You
here's the
gotta
thing. I've
understand.
done bungee. There's nothing close to bungee that is even remotely
Yeah,
the same
bungee, you're
feeling.
strapped and you just
It's
jump.
not the same thing. I've skydived several times, and I feel really, really comfortable skydiving. And I just have a
All right,
feeling.
so anybody who's watching this right now, anybody who's done wingsuit, anybody who's a skydiver,
they're going to encourage me. They're going to say, if that
let
dude
us
wants
know.
to do it, he needs to. He should.
Okay, we'll talk about Johnny Scoville over here. He's done 2 jumps and
3.
he thinks he's badass. So you let us know. Wait a minute. You let us know if he's
he pass
ready.
it or what?
He did. You let us know if he's ready for a wingsuit.
That's
jump.
great idea.
Okay,
let's
I
get
wanna
some
see the
feedback
comment
on
section.
that. Yeah, I do too.
They
I
want
wanna
to see a gasoline fire. They're going to say, do it, do it, do it. They're going to say, jump, jump.
Not the people that are doing it, not professionally, but as a sport for them. They're going to give you the right advice on what to do and how to build up
Dude,
to that.
You guys are awesome. Like, that's why we're able to joke like this, because we got good chemistry, good energy, and I love you, dude. I already freaking love you. You're awesome. This specific wingsuit
a bad
thing,
idea.
It's a bad idea.
See, everybody
Everything
says that.
else, I'm on board.
Oh,
Like,
hey,
freaking do it.
Everybody says the same thing. But
Dude.
do you understand something? It's like a 7-year-old kid. You say that makes me need
Makes
to
you
do
want-
it more.
Listen,
wants
I've
to do it
achieved
more.
everything I've achieved when people told me I can't. Okay? I'm
Me
not
too.
saying you can't. I'm just saying
You should.
Do it
No,
properly.
no, not even that.
Get
I'm
experience.
not saying you can't. You can. I'm just saying don't go to it now. You
Get
have to
experience,
build
get
up
training.
to it, is what I'm all saying.
Yeah.
I'll never tell
Look
you
at
you
his look
can't.
on his
Well,
face,
hang
right?
on. No, hey, but
not-
all you.
I know this
Well,
look. I know
let's
this
Matt.
look means.
But hold on a second. Matt, Foy and Kai are looking at me like in the car is a wingsuit rig. And as soon as we leave here this afternoon, we're going straight to the
We're gonna climb a
closest
tree and
airport.
throw him off.
I'm going to hop into a twin otter and we're going up to 17,000
In fact,
feet. I'm going to find a
forget
ridge
the
line.
airport. Just tie a tether between you wearing the wingsuit and the back of your car. Foy hits.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Foy
I
hits
love
the
to drive
gas.
fast.
Let's
Some
try to
cartoon
fly a
logic
kite.
there.
I love to go fast.
Yeah, he does.
I go fast.
I need, anyway. Yeah.
But let me turn it around. I guess is to Kaya's point. So like you eat spicy things. So would you recommend that someone jump straight to eating, a straight, 2.5 million Scoville
I'll answer
unit
that
pepper
one.
with no
No.
experience?
Why? That's an interesting argument you pose there, Matt. No, here's the thing. I've worked some of the best videos I've made on my
Well,
channel
Everett.
are people who said, "Yeah, I'll eat that thing." Listen. Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes you do. You grab that baby, throw it in the
No,
pool,
but-
and let it figure out how to swim.
Or
No,
the
but here's the
microwave,
deal.
right?
You can. I've talked about this a million times. When you build your tolerance, you can get there. You can become a raging chili head for real, and never really hurt yourself. If you just like you can become a muscle bound. Nobody, you didn't get like that by accident.
I knew
All
he
right.
was gonna look at me.
All right. You didn't get like that by accident. You started small and moved your way up. But
What? I ate this stuff, and then next thing you know, I was like
but
this.
you can do the fast track with chilies and go hardcore, and you can get it done quicker. To me, and I like pain, so that works for me.
You're gonna be
So
dumb. You're gonna
what's-
be tough. Yeah.
What's the lesson of your moral? The moral of your lesson that you just described of how you build up and train for something to get there.
Bingo! Ding, 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 ding.
He just
That
connected
is
his
it.
own
Did you hear
dots and he
that?
doesn't realize it.
You just called
Connect
yourself
the
out.
dots.
No, but those are two. We're talking about apples and oranges. So
No,
we are. We're talking about
about-
apples and
Okay,
They're
oranges.
still
firearms.
they're still all fruit. So let's get that straight.
Okay,
I'm
firearms.
still not
I'm
sure what
gonna-
experience would help you
Hold
get
on,
there.
where's
but-
I'm not
Kyle-
gonna have anybody grab a little AR and a sidearm and just get in to do a little CQB against some other experienced guys, and they've never held a gun before.
Genius.
Of course,
Let's
but
try
that's
that.
Need to train,
again.
build up.
That's
Do you know
totally
how,
different.
Do you know how long it took me?
How's it different, John?
It
How's
took
it
me-
different?
how's it
He's talking about a weapon.
Oh, you're talking about jumping out of off the side of a mountain with a
And you're
plastic
flying
suit
like a
strapped
squirrel.
to you.
Apples, oranges here.
What apples are? It's like literally
Right,
green
it's
apples to green
identical.
apples.
It's
Not even
the
green
same
apples
thing.
to
Not
red
even
apples.
close.
What?
What do you think about those Pro Puffs?
Oh my gosh, here we
All right,
go.
so here we're gonna, okay, I'm gonna move
Oh
on.
boy, here we go.
All right, sir. So now it's time for you to talk about yourself.
Yes, thank you.
There we go.
You know, it's my least favorite subject. You know, no, I'm not one to talk much about myself. But so you know, Johnny and I actually met up at about the same time when we were both starting our little things. Right, I started Blazing Foods in 2018, into 2017, 2018, and as a result of starting to play around with making, I wanted to make a snack. But I wanted to be different enough that maybe we could be appealing in the marketplace. So I figured, let's make a spicy snack. And so I iterated through a whole lot of different product ideas, and I landed on peanuts, right? And so that's what started off. It's just I don't even have the pouches here, but we make these various heat levels in a 6-ounce pouch. We got a mild, we got a medium, we got a wild, and then we have a sriracha flavor, right? So it started with basically our mild peanut, and I have a funny story about how all that started. So I moved to Fort Mill because of a girl. That's how we do. We kind of travel. We meet girls. Anyway, so I moved down to Fort Mill.
Man, I've never done that.
I'm just kidding. Keep going.
And I just happened to be driving through downtown Fort Mill one day. It's the first time I'd ever been there. And I drove by a little place called Pucker Butt Pepper Company. Ed Curry, the creator, inventor of the Carolina Reaper, Pepper X, all these amazing pepper products. And I was like, oh, I know the name of that. I've seen that before, right? Now, I wasn't in the spicy space before that. Now, I have a culinary background, right? It's in the food business and a couple other things. But I was like, so I pulled in. I wanted to go in and check it out and see what that was all about. And I remember walking in there, and it's just a kind of a square retail facility. And I looked around, and there was hot sauce everywhere, like it is today. But the difference was they had these 5-gallon buckets, just black 5-gallon buckets with no writing or nothing on them. It lined the entire perimeter of their building. So I'm talking to my sales guy. My little sales guy comes up. He's like, hey, welcome to Pucker Butt. And I'm like, hey, happy to be here. First time. He's, oh, great. Let me, so he gave me the lowdown on everything. And I learned a little more about Ed because I've heard of him, but I didn't know much about him. And I didn't know anything about his store. So this is my first experience. And I got curious. I said, hey, what's all these black buckets? What is that stuff? And his chest, he kind of paused for a moment, and his chest swelled up. He's like, well, that there is Carolina Reaper pepper mash. I'm like, well, what the hell is that, right? And then he really got puffed up. He got excited. He wanted to explain to me all about these as well, David. He said, those are Carolina Reaper peppers. We grind them up super fine, and then we add just enough vinegar to get them pH stable and extend the shelf life. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah. So how much are these? He says, $650. I'll take one. And that's really how Blazing Foods got started. So I bring this bucket of 5 gallons of it. I had no idea what I was messing with. It's napalm. I mean, it was it should be a controlled substance or something, right? It should have a fire warning label on it. And I'll give you a story about why it needs to have these safety labels on it, right? So I take it back and sharing a space with my girlfriend at the time. And I walk in just like that guy, chest all swole out, and I'm excited. I'm walking fast. I walk in the door, and I'm carrying
What
this.
is that? She said.
And she said, what the hell is that? And you know what I did? I did the exact same thing the guy in the store did. I swole up, and I was like, well, Sandy, that's Carolina Reaper pepper.
30 seconds,
Fresh.
you're expert right now.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I'm mimicking the sales guy in the store, and I'm like, well, that's fresh picked Carolina Reaper peppers ground up with just enough vinegar to make them shelf stable. And she just looked at me, kind of scratched her head. She's like,
What are you going to do with it?
what the F are you going to do with those things? And she said, well, did you have to buy so much? I said, number one, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Number two, that's the only way they had it. So yeah, I had to buy it. And she just shook her head. And she's like, well, just go do what you got to do, have fun. She was cool about it.
Yeah.
And so then that's when I started experimenting and iterating through different, types. I considered hot sauce, but hot sauce at the time was a little cost prohibitive to just dip your toe in the water, you know, because you need a lot of material, a lot of packaging material. You need certifications and expertise in areas that I knew nothing about at the time, acidification, anyway. And so I landed on peanuts. So I started in our shared place where we're living, cooking this stuff. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever cooked Carolina Reaper peppers in an enclosed space like a house.
Take a wild guess.
Right? Take a wild guess. It is tear gas, baby.
Wow.
Especially when it heats up, it's going to gas the entire room.
Brutal.
It's going to gas your neighbors. It's going to gas your dog, your cat, everybody. Right?
So I've never tried to cook like that, right? But I have done some at-home pickling. And so you can just imagine already from like when you have to boil the vinegar and how it permeates everything in the house.
You're like this
Wants
a
to
lot.
steal your breath.
Yeah.
Wants you to stop breathing.
Now add a extremely spicy pepper to that. Like I can get an idea.
Sure. So, you know, I set off on this mission of let's formulate. Let's see what we can make with this stuff, right?
So hotter than the peppers, like a law enforcement pepper spray, like the feeling of it, like breathing.
I'll connect the dots for you on that in just a moment. Okay. So I'm developing, you know, so I locked in on peanuts. So you know what? I love peanuts. Like I would eat them and just snack on them all the time. And I figured, well, let's see what I can do with a peanut and see if we can make a peanut spicy. Because there was nothing at the time, you know. This was in probably towards the beginning of 2017 when I started playing around with it. Or no, at the end of 2016. Anyway, so I lock in on a recipe. It's good, right? And I loved it. I was like, wow, this is great. You know, and I'm not a super spicy like this guy. You know, I'm not hot like that. I'm probably, at the time, I was probably more along the lines of you, Kai, as far as my, you know, because I didn't eat hot stuff all the time. But I love spice and I love spicy stuff. So I made a peanuts and I said, you know what? I'm going to put them in a bag and I'm going to go back over to Pucker Butt and see if they like them, you know, because it was their product that I used to make it. So I figured I'd, you know, get some feedback from the people that know. And I went in the day that I happened to go in there. Ed was actually working in the store that day. I got to meet him, and it was cool. You know, it was a little, you know,
man.
I was like, wow, Ed Curry, I said, you're the dude. But he was so cool, very, how would you say, modest. Just a really cool guy. And I let him try them. I said, hey, do me a favor. I said, while I'm here, I said, I used your product. I used your pepper mash to make these peanuts. Will you taste them and give me some feedback? Because, you know, I had no reference point, right? And he did. He's like, holy, I love them. Can you make them for me? Here we are. That's where it started.
Wow.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I just co-packed for him out of my home space for a little while before I got a commercial kitchen, right, for a short period of time. I knew I had to transition quickly because you have to be compliant with the laws to sell a food product. And, you know, within a month we had a commercial kitchen space. But so while I was still at home, I'm going to connect the dots for you on that story real quick.
Course.
I'm cooking a fresh batch, and I'm trying to manipulate this 5-gallon bucket of mash, which weighs, what, about 55 pounds when it's fully loaded. And I had one hand on a pan and a spatula, and I'm trying to do that, but I needed to add some mash, so I had to pull the bucket a little closer to me. So I let go of the pan, grab the bucket, and I pull it over, and it slipped out of my hands as I'm standing over it, like that. And you know what happens when you drop a full bucket of, exactly,
Yeah,
right?
Straight up.
Yep.
Straight up.
It directly,
Hot.
a wad, not a little speck, but a wad of it went directly into my eye.
But is it? I mean, I know it's the temperature.
Room temperature.
Room temperature. Okay. Gotcha. But it's hot.
Oh,
Dropped me like a bad habit immediately, right? I can't see. And even though it wasn't in my left eye, I couldn't open that eye either. I go into panic mode because I'm not accustomed to this stuff, right? This is my first experience with something that hot. Like I said, Johnny said earlier, like we all think we know what hot is, but our only point of reference is the hottest thing we've ever eaten to that point, right? That got inside of my eyeball and underneath my eyelid.
Oh, boy.
Right, because I'm immediately, trying to wipe it out. And all I did was push it all the way in. I had
stuff in there. I've done it.
I had to scrape it off like this first, right, and then I'm on the floor on hands and knees, right.
An hour and a half,
suffering.
2 hours. How long?
Yeah, it was bad.
A couple hours.
It was
Dear
bad.
sweet
It was coming
baby
out of my
Jesus,
nose.
please kill me now.
It was coming out of my mouth. I thought I was blind because I couldn't open my eyes. I said I can't see. Well, because your eyelids are closed.
And it's worse because
dummy.
it's not just water.
Yeah.
If it was just a drop of liquid, you'd be fine. But seeds and pepper product, that was a glob of mash.
Dude, one
man.
little tiny little speck of seeds
all it took.
alone would just mess you up. You got the whole thing.
And then while I'm laying on the kitchen floor, just feeling like I'm near death. I mean, it was bad. I mean, I was in bad shape. the stuff that I left in the pan was still on heat. Burnt that. So then
so
the smoke
fumes of
alarm's
that.
going off, right? And then about an hour and a half later, my girlfriend at the time comes home with her younger girls, walked in,
Turn around, walk
and
out.
they started screaming at me, and they turned around and left. They said, "Call me when this crap's cleaned up."
And he never had
But it was
bugs in
the
his
smell
house again.
because there was so much the volume of the heat from that Carolina Reaper, mash burning in that pan. I'm trying to make it. I'm laid out on the floor. I can't do anything. And then she just came in and she's like, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" And I couldn't explain to her. And she's like, "We're leaving. Call me when it's over."
I just okay. I'm
How
more
sympathetic.
Stuck,
Oh,
I'm
God.
more stuck on.
She
that
was
girlfriend.
more sympathetic when she
Is
got
she still your
back. But
girlfriend?
she couldn't breathe. No,
Good.
no, she was a great person. I mean, she really was. Yeah.
Well,
She's a
I would think
beautiful,
that I would need some
wonderful
help over
girl.
there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
But
I'm in
listen,
need of
it
help.
was so noxious. That's the point. They could not enter. She has, the girls at the time, I think, were like 10, 11, 12 years old. And it was bad. I mean,
get
I
it,
could
but
barely
she
stand
just,
it. They
like,
came in,
call
they're
me when-
never been around it, and they were like,
guess
"We
I'm
got
a
to
little
go."
bit-
They immediately start coughing. You're like, "What do you know?"
I did that the year on Christmas Eve, the year I started my channel, not knowing what I was doing. I had a bunch of peppers and I had some left over. I wasn't going to be able to eat them fast enough. I didn't want to throw them out.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll make a sauce out of this. So I went into the kitchen. My wife was upstairs with her 2 sons. I had a dog. I'm in the kitchen sauteing. I put some oil in the pan, get the oil hot.
Here we go.
I threw these, I cut the
All right,
peppers
here it
into
comes.
chunks and threw like maybe a dozen of these super hots into this pan. Just sauteing them up. I start coughing a little bit.
That's how it
thing
starts.
It is. Next thing you know, man, I had all the doors open, the windows open. My wife comes downstairs
Yeah.
screaming because it took a while for the fumes to get upstairs. Next thing you know, the kid, her sons, she and the dog were gone, and I mean they were gone until
And then the neighbors started calling.
Yeah.
Man, what are you doing over there?
that was the only time I ever did. Of course, we're divorced now.
Well, I guess I would
Because of
understand
that?
her- No, not because of that.
No.
No. Well, I guess
Not
I would
entirely.
understand that because she sees that you're all right. You just burn and the house is like all hot,
Noxious.
whatever.
You know what?
She just walks. There's nothing wrong with that. You are in bad shape. You're like on the ground. You can't see.
She couldn't see me. They didn't even make it through the doorway. She didn't know where I was or what I was doing.
I see.
It's just that
Okay.
immediately they
I
got
thought she
gassed.
just sees you like you're hurt.
No,
and she's like,
no, she's
okay.
no, she wasn't that kind of girl. She was a
Okay,
really
I was
great
like,
girl.
dude,
No.
that's harsh.
2 months
But
after
she just
that-
came in, and the girls immediately started coughing, and she had a bad reaction. She's like, "We're out of here. Let me know when it's over. Call me,"
Gotcha,
because she knew
okay.
what I was up to. She knew what I was
see.
doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 months, after that Christmas Eve thing is when she punched me in the face when I was driving that time. I told you about it.
For
Wait,
what?
you're
I have no
driving?
idea.
She
Yeah, it's
just
a crazy
punched-
story. And she's
Why
a-
would you
she-
touch the drive?
Listen, she
Right.
was like 100.
She shoulda drove.
She was a
That
beautiful
Logical
girl.
question.
She was a beautiful, lovely woman. She was like 105 pounds, little teeny Vietnamese girl. She was born in Vietnam, and we were driving one day. I don't know. I said something wrong. Don't know what it was. I was driving along, and
I love you,
probably
baby.
60, 65, and I thought, no lie, when she first hit me, I didn't know she hit me. I thought somebody had thrown something through the window, like a ball or something, because I didn't think she was going to
Your
punch me.
glasses.
Well, I didn't know I was wearing them until I got home. She hit me so hard. I looked over. I didn't know what it was. And then she looked at me. I realized it was her because she looked at me. She goes, "What? What are you going to do?" Like if I had punched somebody big, I'd be like, "Holy crap! I just decked this dude that was driving." It didn't even bother. She's like, "What are you going to do?" Because she knew I was going to hit her. I can't. So I drove home. I'm like looking at her. I drove home. I get home and I parked the car. As I'm getting out, I see my glasses broken out. I didn't even realize I was wearing them because she hit me so hard. She broke my glasses. I had a red mark on my nose.
Wow. And you got 2 kids from her?
No. Oh no! Thank God. No, that was a
Okay.
clean.
God, I'm all traumatized right now.
Me too.
Yeah, I got my
No,
own
I
stuff
think
going
she
on,
did
so-
that. I think it might have been because of the peppers on Christmas Eve. It could have been
It was a latent response.
payback. Yeah,
latent response.
she sat and wait patiently, waiting for the right
For the
moment.
right
All
moment.
right.
When you're not looking and you're trying to drive a car at 80 miles an hour, it's a good idea to punch
That's
the
a
driver
very
right
good
in the
idea.
side of the head. That's a great
Makes
idea.
perfect sense. Yeah.
Mr.
you
Floyd,
know.
what do you have here today?
So I was so yeah, go on. Sorry.
So that was the development of your first product, the peanuts.
Sure.
And they got picked up by Puckerbutt.
Yeah. So
and you've innovated quite a lot
Oh,
since
man.
then, obviously.
it's been a wild ride, guys. I mean, it really has. It's been fun though because I enjoy creating stuff, and like I said, I had a culinary background. I used to run a competitive barbecue cooking team.
Oh,
We
okay.
traveled around doing the
God.
Kansas City
Speaking my
barbecue.
language, yeah.
Yeah, we just we
Wow.
smoked a bunch of stuff, so to speak.
Yeah.
And but anyway, so yeah, started private labeled for Ed for probably about 6 months, and I didn't do anything else with it. I just figured I was going to wait and see how it did with him, and he had good throughput. They sold well, but that led me to believe that, well, we could probably sell better, right? And so I went through the process of getting on Amazon and applying to be in the food space because they have pretty stringent requirements for people coming into market food products. So I got that certification. We got that done. And the first bag that we produced with the label, which I created myself, and this is not my forte at all, but that first label was ugly. I mean, that thing was bad. But I figured, hey, let's get this product out in the market and get on Amazon and see what happens. And they accepted us, right? And so we started selling through Amazon. And boy, we're off to the races after that. And that's when, I was like, okay, I'm going to, commit 100% to this idea and this concept. And the reason that we had all of this product creep and everything is customer feedback. The first product that we commercially put out there was a mild, right? You remember the mild?
I do.
The very first version of it. And the feedback was, man, these are delicious, but they're not hot enough. So we did we leveled up. We did a medium, same feedback. Man, these are delicious, but they're not hot enough. Then we came out with the wild. Man, these are delicious, but they're not hot enough. And then we came out.
Death Nut.
Then we came out with this. Because everybody said, well, can't you do, man, you're playing with that Carolina Reaper. How hot can you make it? And I said, well, I'm pretty sure I can make it really dang hot, right?
Wow. I mean, we've tried those Death Nuts a little bit. I mean, you guys had it's a challenge. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, the level 5, like, you just die.
Yeah. No, nobody's ever died from our product.
No.
Let's don't go there.
Not literally.
Well, okay.
Not literally.
So obviously, Death Nuts may contain nuts. So if you have allergies, make sure you check out the allergen
I
warning.
guess
May
even
contain
your little,
nuts. I like that.
your little honey roasted nuts are going to do that too. No, it's
That's
extremely
what it tastes
hot.
like.
What
It is
wrong?
is somewhat of a honey roasting process and how we bind
Here's the
flavor.
thing:
Yeah.
what those peanuts taste like is totally determined by your tolerance level. If somebody who doesn't have any experience with heat, they're not going to taste anything. They're just going to have pain. The flavor will be lost in it. You can't process both those things, pain and flavor, at the same time. Pain wins every time. Trumps flavor. So if you have really high tolerance, he's right. They taste like honey roasted nuts with a kick.
And we observed that on our last video together. We ate some spicy things, and so after something that was more spicy, we did the Death Nuts, and it didn't seem spicy at all at that point. With that comparison, and you just came down from something even hotter.
I just Well, for me, pretty much anything that's above mild. Even mild is very relative, right?
Very relative.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, I'm not a spicy guy, right? And not judging you guys. I just don't know how you guys do it, because I get sick if I do something spicy.
Yeah.
Like really, like sick as in you're not using the bathroom that day.
But we used this example previously, right? So someone's ability to eat and cope with eating high capsaicin foods, right, is just like your ability to do exercise. If you've never run before in your life,
good point.
and you go out there and you try to run a 7-minute mile, you're going to feel out of breath, exhausted. You might collapse, right?
Yeah.
Your body is
Could
like,
kill you.
I can't do this. Same thing if you're not someone who has experience eating spicy foods, trying to jump to something that's really spicy.
Yeah.
So
Just like the
when you say how do we do it, well, how do you go out and work out for 3 hours?
So that would be like the wingsuit. Before you get there, you have to like.
Yeah,
I knew that
practice.
was going to come back at some point before this was over.
You
He
gotta
might revisit
you
it
gotta
one more time
practice.
before it's over.
Practice.
And you certainly didn't start off your exercise program bench pressing 300 plus pounds either.
Exactly.
You had to get there.
So I
And
had to
the
get
analogy
there.
is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to train to the.
So from
main
now on, when
event.
you say, I don't know how you guys do that, we're just going to look and go, I don't know how you look like that.
I don't know how you did that.
Yeah, how did that happen?
And you know what's interesting? So I recently had my
just
gallbladder
touch me?
removed. Right.
What-
And
what?
I had my gallbladder removed.
Okay.
I can't do spicy anymore. Right. Number one, I can't taste. Right. So I'm still waiting for my taste and my smell to come back from
Okay.
the surgery. But my gastro guy tells me, he said, because he kind of figured out what I did for a living. He's like, you need to stay away from that stuff because your body without a gallbladder is unable to process. It's something. It's connection with the liver or something. He said, just stay away from capsaicin if you can help it.
So that's interesting. My wife had her gallbladder taken out a while back, and I don't remember spicy being one of the things, but there were an interesting number of dietary restrictions they kind of went over with her. And she's never been a spicy person anyway. Like she doesn't like walking into a lot of Mexican restaurants from just like the smell of things in the air.
I got you.
So it was not a concern if if that was a problem. But
Got you. So the company Blazing Foods, right? How's it doing now? You got employees, or you do it yourself?
No, we have our own space. We have a facility, full kitchen manufacturing area, shipping area, receiving. So yeah, we've kind of tuned up, and
It's Willy
when
Wonka
I first
of hot
started,
stuff.
let me back up. When I first started with Death Nuts, right before it just started off with Death Nuts, and then Blazing Foods, I started that to kind of hold the various spicy things that we anyway. But after we got the commercial kitchen space, which was a shared, like a co-location kitchen, you rent space in this state approved food production facility, and I would have to go there and make everything, and then I was like, well, I need a place to package, prep, ship, and do all that stuff. And I was looking around, and at the time I just didn't want to invest a tremendous amount of money to see where this thing was going to go. So I ended up renting a storage building, right?
Okay.
Like a storage shed.
Yeah.
Right? They roll it, but you go to their facility.
Yeah.
Morningstar Storage, right?
Yeah.
And the first one was a 10 by 10, so I had to build my own shipping tables and all that stuff. So I'd come in with 20, 30 pounds of peanuts. We'd pack them out. Well, we packed them out at the commercial facility, but then we bring them in there and pack them out as far as get them ready
Shipping,
to ship.
yeah.
Right. And so I'd go from the commercial kitchen to the storage building. The roll up door.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
It's awesome.
I love this story.
And that's
Isn't it great?
that's how I
Yeah.
started. We would do all our shipping out of there and package them, get them ready for shipping, print the labels, and do all that kind of stuff. And
Watching it scale up was so much fun.
This is
yeah,
so good, man.
I thought I was something special when we outgrew the 10 by 10, and I had to get a 10 by 20. I was like,
God, I love this.
This is going places.
I
so-
love, dude. One of the
You like the grind?
Dude, I love, because that's just how I've lived my life, and I can't imagine living any other way. And when people tell me their stories, like we all have a story, right? And like
Some
hearing
more
this,
colorful than others.
exactly. So hearing this,
Right.
that you just like did at home, like what happened to you, and now storage unit and this, that. I envy these things. These are stories that everybody needs to.
Oh, they're inspiring.
Yeah,
man.
very inspiring.
Like he'd go to
I
work
love
all
this.
day. When he was done, he'd go to the storage unit until the sun came out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Yeah,
grind, the hustle.
I would finish up around 3 a.m, with the shipping cycle, and then you'd have to load out the car and get all the packages put into that, and then head home and grab a couple hours sleep. And I was doing kind of a consulting gig for a large employer here in Charlotte. So, but I was just, I'd have to go there for 8 to 10 hours a day and do my gig with them, right? And then I would go to the commercial kitchen after that gig, make the peanuts, pack them, and then go to the storage unit. And like I said, I'd be out there, some days if I'm lucky, out at 1, but most times like 3 a.m. And then you get a spin around, and you're at work again, 8 o'clock.
I love this. Yeah,
And that was when you and I met.
Right, and so then I see this guy because I started getting into, there's people that really like incredibly hot stuff. I was unaware of this.
You're learning that market, yeah.
And so I go on YouTube, and I find this cat, and I reach out to him, and I said, dude, we got to talk, right?
Yeah.
And that's right when he first started his channel. So our trajectory aligns just about perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, and then
For real.
we became just great friends. He's living in Reno, Nevada at the time, and so we're just communicating. And I said, dude, your personality, I love watching you. I said, you need some products.
Yeah, let's work together.
You need some products, Johnny. And so we went through a period of about 3 months where I kept sending him just peanuts.
A couple at a time.
Because here's the deal, right? I can make things just like so incredibly hot that it would be dangerous to sell it to a consumer, right?
Yeah.
To make it publicly available. So I bounced off him as my, I like to call him a crash test dummy, right? So I'd make a batch, and I'm trying to just increment up to where it's going to excite somebody at his heat level preference, but we're not going to hurt somebody if they accidentally, really hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Of course, their mouth's going to hurt and everything, but I mean, you can take people into the cramp zone in such a bad way they feel like they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that, right? I wanted to be very thoughtful about You know, I just didn't want to go ridiculous right off the bat. So Johnny thankfully helped me, but we had so much fun doing this stuff. It was
you guys seem like an
I'd send him
awesome
these
pair,
little packs of peanuts about like this. I'm like, how are these? And
I
Johnny's
call
like,
him on the phone. I'm like, "Are you ready?" He goes, "Yeah, I'd eat it." I'm like, "It's not hot enough." He goes, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How do you know?" I said, "Because it's just trust me, it's not hot enough." So we'd hang up. A couple days later, I get another one. I call him up. I'd eat it. Not hot enough. One day, he gives me one. Remember that?
Yeah.
I call him. I eat it. I'm like, "Dude, this is plutonium."
back it off.
I said, "This is
You have an
plutonium."
upper and a lower limit.
Yeah, so now I found I had a little standard
'Cause
deviation thing I could work in the curve. Now we're ready to go. So.
I drunk a whole bottle of plutonium. So I knew what it tasted like. So I'm like, it's too hot. He goes, why? I'm like, because I can't, it's.
That was a silly question to ask him why.
And then I said,
why?
you got to try these capsaicin crystals because there's no flavor. The plutonium tastes like extract. These flavor crystals, they won't alter the flavor profile. They just spike the heat.
Yeah.
So he started using those, and he sent me one, and I was like, dude, the flavor profile is perfect, but it's way too hot.
Didn't it whiten your teeth just a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Blew my hair.
Made his
I had
teeth
hair
whiter.
then. I had hair then.
He had hair.
But he said to me, he's like, I've never heard you say that. I said, I don't think I've ever said it. He goes, why is it too hot? I'm like, because I'm going to have to do the whole thing, and I won't be able to. And I should be able to since my picture's on it.
Yeah.
So then he backed it down one level, and that's what the tube of terror was. It was really funny because the first run, we had 1,000 tubes. It was like the couple days before we did it, I'm like, what's going to happen if we sell them all? I didn't think we would. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm like, what happens if we sell them all? He goes, I don't know. You want to sell some more? I'm like, okay. He goes, we'll just keep running. And we've sold a ton of them now all over the world.
Well, I think one of the things that's really important to understand, especially since you guys are kind of like a web-based business direct to consumer, is that the U.S., much less the rest of the world, is big, right? So 1,000 tubes is nothing compared to the market out there, right?
Oh, I know.
Well, to us and where we were at the time, that was monumental.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
If we sold 100, I'd be jumping. At the time, we'd be doing jumping jacks, saying, "Yeah, boys, we did well."
But to me, I remember one day I watched a video online. A guy eats the tube of terror. He starts the tube of terror in his kitchen. He's eating them. So Johnny Scoville, blazing food. He's going through it. The end of the video, it ends with him climbing into an ambulance going, I'll let you know what happens, guys. They shut the door. I'm serious. So I call Foy up. True story. I call Foy up like, we got a problem. He's like, what? I'm like, I sent you a link. Go look at your email. His reaction was, you can't buy advertisement like that.
Right,
it's
exactly.
perfect. Did you die? I'm like, no, he's good. He goes, we're set. There are now, there's 4 videos online of people that the exact same thing happens. And there's one where a guy goes, I can't wait for the ambulance. I'm driving myself. So he's on the way to the ambulance, to the hospital. It gets too bad. So he pulls over, bails out of the car. He's rolling around in the dirt on the side of by his car.
Oh my
the ambulance comes up and picks him up. And this is all being filmed. Picks him up on this, leaves his car there, jumps in the ambulance and leaves his car. So we've had a couple of funny,
That's
situations.
insane.
That's great.
Well, is this stuff available internationally?
Oh yeah,
People can buy like over. I'm just saying like, I don't know, like Ukraine or like
You bet.
Poland, right? You can just ship it out there.
So are you trying to look at, like fix up the new Ukrainian super weapon against the Russians? That just
what do you?
Oh, I wasn't thinking. I was just like thinking Turkey. Let's just say,
Russia.
okay? I'll
Russia.
just say
There
Turkey.
you go.
Listen, Russia buys a ton of our stuff. The guys over there, the
I don't
Ruskies,
see
they love
that.
it. The really hot stuff. There's probably only about 5 countries that we've not shipped to.
Gotcha. Okay, that's
And some are very difficult on their import. Clearing customs
Gotcha.
makes it difficult because, especially when we use the natural capsaicin, right? That's prohibited in certain countries because it's,
Right, well, and
in the
understandably
right
so.
quantities, it could be dangerous.
Gotcha.
Like different countries will have different safety guidelines. Like they might consider a certain concentration to be dangerous, or like places like Australia, they're very concerned about like outside
Australia's
organisms.
very sticklers. Yeah.
Oh man, brutal.
We've had a lot of packages rejected. But most of it's because we didn't have the import documentation with enough detail for them to understand what they were messing with.
Gotcha. That's really cool, man. Like your story is so inspiring. I love this. I love having you here. It's an honor to have you guys obviously here
Thanks,
talk about
man.
this.
It's fun to be here. You guys are great.
It's really good times. And I can't wait to obviously do some more stuff with you guys later. Now you have another company.
I do.
What is that?
I do. It's Epic Keto Snacks.
Now that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Here we go.
Now we're talking about
Yes.
stuff that you're into. Yeah.
What is this stuff, man? Tell us about it a little bit.
You remember that earlier before we started the podcast, I was telling you about my first time here shooting a video with your crew.
Yep.
And that's when things started. That's when it happened, right? For me, this transformation, right? Because I saw the video and I saw a picture of myself after that show, and I was like, "Good Lord, I look like a walrus. You know what I mean? I did. I was about, between 250 and 260. I was actually fluctuating between 240 and 260. I had a wild weight swings back then because I was living unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
And so Johnny remembers some of the first stuff that I remember, the soy base.
Oh, God.
So I was trying to find something to make healthy snacks with, right, for my own personal use, right?
Yeah.
So I started off with textured soy protein. And I made Johnny eat one. He was like, "Holy crap, this tastes like a milk-bone dog biscuit."
He had He had these pellets. What?
Not good.
Yeah, textured soy protein. It was shaped.
Oh my
it was shaped.
God. I looked at him and
similar
said, "You can't,
to-
you
he told me-
can't make this taste good." I said, "I don't know why you're trying."
Well, simulate for them, if you will, please, because this is hilarious. I almost died when you did this. Popping that first one in your mouth and then your reaction to it.
It was just horrible. It tasted like I couldn't
Spit it out. He's cussing at me.
I thought he was joking. I'm like, that you can't think that you could actually sell something. Get something that they'll buy it once. You'll never sell a second one. It tastes like an alfalfa pellet you give a llama or something.
That's funny.
And it was gross. And I said to him in the moment, I said, you can't
There's
get
nothing
there.
you can do.
You can't get there from here. It's an expression in Texas. You can't get there from here. You're not going to be able to make that into something that people are going to ever eat.
And what did that comment make me do?
He dug in his heels. That was
locked
like,
me in.
Like,
what,
no, this is it.
Yeah,
no,
it
he
locked
got
me
this
in.
laser freakish focus. Like, what'd you say? And I'm like, it was
He's
just
just
on like a pot of milk bones. He wasn't fooling.
He's like angry at me. He's like, "You'll never."
I'm serious. I'm serious. I mean, that is garbage. You can't do it. Why
What's
are you
wrong with you? And I
I
was
come
like-
into work and he'd be doing it again. I'm like, you still working on this? I said, you can't make that good.
That's funny.
So anyway,
Well, why would you ask the spice guy that stuff, anyways?
Well, he's the overall crash test dummy. So
I'm
we run him
joking,
through a
I'm
lot
joking,
of
I'm
we run him
joking.
through a lot of crash test situations. But anyway, so I really felt like I needed to do a healthy snack for my own self, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a snack fiend. I'd rather snack all day long than really, sit down and eat.
Grace, yeah.
Yeah, like chips, whatever. I was shoving everything, ding dongs, the Twinkies.
Yeah.
Rather, let's rephrase that. Whatever, it didn't matter. Junk food, snack food, I was all about it. So I said, you know what? After watching that video and seeing my pictures of being here, I was like, I'm going to do something a little different. So that's what kind of put me on this journey, right? And Johnny's right. So I worked with the textured soy product for a while. And I never, in dry form, I could never get it to taste good because it in itself it was difficult. But what I did do with it is I figured out a way to make a vegan cheesesteak sandwich, right? Using this textured soy protein.
Okay.
And you remember that.
I do.
And, I figured out a way to actually make it taste good. And then
It was the first time there was light at the end of the tunnel. Because if I was on a desert island, you had cases of those pellets, they'd find my body with all those cases of pellets.
It'd be this
still
bigger.
there.
I'd just be a skeleton. Would not eat them.
I would not.
But I figured out a way to get flavor inside of it, right? And then we fried them just like you'd fry a cheesesteak, like the steak part. And then peppers and onions and a vegan cheese, right? And a great Amoroso.
Yep.
The bun, if anybody knows, from Jersey, Philly, that area, Amoroso is, in New York for the sub rolls, the best. And tell me what you thought of that.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was like, all right, we're going somewhere. Maybe he's going to. I knew you were going to at that point. I was like, okay, he's honing in on it.
Yeah, but I didn't want to get in the vegan tofu sandwich business. I wanted to make snacks for my personal consumption. And it was difficult to make that cheesesteak sandwich. So anyway, that led us here, and that's where we are. And this began my transformation, But I
When did
used
that start for you, the weight loss? 6 months ago?
No, probably a little about a year, really, when I first started, getting this product right and changed my snacking from off-the-shelf stuff to stuff that I made in-house, right? And I really had no idea that it would end up being something that we would actually sell products from, right? But they turned out really freaking good, right? And the macros on them, after a lot of trial and error, and we getting this thing dialed in, it's freaking amazing. I mean, if you compare that product that you're holding there to a protein shake, right, on a per serving basis, you're going to get 25 grams of it's a premium whole protein, right? So it's 80% casein and then 20% whey. Plus, we fortify it with additional whey isolate. Okay, and we go through a process of flavoring and coating and doing a bunch of other things to this product. And the macros are just ridiculous. It really is. So it's 110 calories per serving. And what you're holding in that is a 2-ounce serving.
Dude.
This is a new size that we offer on the website, right? 110 calories, 25 grams of protein, 0 fat, 0 sugar.
That one,
Zero
Matt's holding.
carbs,
That is so
pretty
good
much.
right there.
Right.
Oh, he's going in.
Under 1 gram.
So we have 3 flavors, and we're developing about 4 more. We're doing 2 savories and maybe another sweet one. We have this mocha espresso, which I think is our favorite.
Yeah, Matt's opening it right now.
The original strawberry watermelon has a really great taste to it. And then one of mine that I really like is the classic apple pie flavor.
Those are so good.
Right?
All right. You want some too or no?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll try too. Sorry. Yeah. Let's see how this tastes. Because this is my wheelhouse.
I
So
told you, man. It's
like
like
Cocoa
mocha
Puffs.
espresso. Are
Light
so
and
good.
crunchy. Now, here's what I love about this.
With milk,
do-
it's the best cereal in the world.
I do protein shakes too, but this for me, I get feeling full if I eat this instead of a protein shake. 'Cause I got something in my stomach that has.
Well,
you
you said you're a snacker, so it kind of keeps you busy with this, but you're eating something really
Right.
good.
Doesn't it
This
taste
is-
good?
Oh, it's incredible.
That's really good too.
I want to try this. Okay.
That's really good.
What was
Both of
it- what'd
those
you
are
say?
so good in ice cream. In
There's a
milk.
tear tab on the other side if you. Yeah.
on the side.
To-
All right.
will you demonstrate for our Kaya
All right,
here
I
how
got
to
it, I
open
got
a
it.
bag with yeah.
How to open a bag? I just.
I
got
use
it
a
right
knife. I don't.
here. Yeah,
Or use a knife.
Yeah. See,
All right,
see what I'm
Get
saying?
your switchblade out, Kaya. Come on.
There you go.
That's apple pie,
Isn't that crazy?
right?
This is my favorite.
It's so good. If you eat cereal, you put milk in that, a bowl of cereal, and use
Dude,
that like
you just killed me.
it's insane. It's so good.
No,
as
actually,
cereal.
I've done quite
Sorry,
the
you're
opposite.
gonna lose your mind.
Kaya, quite the opposite. I've made you a much healthier person today.
That's what I'm saying. Like in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
You're killing me, Shorty.
Yeah. That's it. Like
Right.
that.
So we just launched. I'm good.
You like these more than the mocha?
The mocha's
You
amazing
mean-
too, different. But I've always liked the cinnamon apple pie
Right,
kind of thing.
that
That taste, I like that. So when I eat my oatmeals, like if I ever go a little wild, right, I'll eat with this flavor.
Oh, you know what? Throwing these
Oh,
in
watch
some
out!
oatmeal would be great.
Watch out, wild man over here.
Yeah.
So we have 3 different sizes, right? So this is one that new packaging for us, new labels. They're available on the website now, right? So you get 2 servings, and it's $4.99. Then we have the 9 ounce that you have over there.
This is the one that I ate.
That's
the
9
whole
serving.
thing.
There's 9 servings in there. Okay. And then we do a bulk 1 pound pack as well for people that, and it saves them a lot of money. So we make it a much more cost effective per serving. But the price per serving for these is about what you would pay for a premium protein powder
right, yeah.
that's sugar free, right? So we're kind of apples to apples in that regard as far as the consumer price
Yeah.
per serving.
This is
very
incredible.
comparable. Thank you.
No,
very
this
much.
is really incredible, and we'll be talking more. So what is this stuff?
This is wicked cool.
Secret weapon number 2. Pass them around. Let's all
It's
get one.
unbranded, so there you go.
Yeah. So these are development. This product's under development. I call it the Mind and Body Power Shot. Okay. So here's what I've learned, going through my journey of going from 250 plus to about 190, 195, right? Dopamine.
Yeah.
Dopamine is
I
the
need some of that
driver.
stuff.
It and all of your motivation, your willingness and desire to do strenuous task or any task, in fact, right? So dopamine is our body's motivation tool.
Couldn't do anything
Right.
without it.
So I did a deep dive with the help of a ton of AI and a lot of research, through hundreds and hundreds of PubMed articles, anything related to, dopamine regulation. Andrew Huberman, I watch a
Yeah,
lot of him. That
he's
guy
really
is
good.
amazing.
I listen
right?
to that guy all the time. He's amazing.
But if you boil down like human problems, right, to one basic element, at least in my opinion, dopamine is the driver for most of that. Addiction, right? Overweight. And I don't want to use any negative terms, but let's say lazy or unmotivated people. It's all a dopamine issue, right? If we correct the dopamine problem, we can get rid of all those other things.
Yeah.
Right? The reason people stay addicted to drugs is because of how it manipulates your dopamine in your body, right? And the reason they need to continue using it is because the minute that drug is out of your system, what happens to your dopamine?
Crush.
Yeah, you're back to 0, and then you feel like crap, So anyway,
Yeah.
so the Power Shot, mind and body. A couple of things in here: ginger,
Ooh, okay.
turmeric, and guayusa.
What is that?
Guayusa.
Guayusa?
Should I run the
Dave,
should
tell
I-
us, what is guayusa?
Well, Everett, glad you asked. So well, it's a tree that grows in the Amazons, right? It's been used by Amazonians for centuries. And I gave an analogy to Johnny the other night.
It's a great one.
Try to connect the dots, right? Guayusa is to Amazonians what cocoa leaves are to Colombians.
Okay.
They eat it all day long, right, for energy and motivation. So just the raw leaves, right? And the Amazonians do the same thing with the guayusa. But so it's a stimulant, right? It's a natural caffeine. But it's balanced with L-theanine and some other things that make it so much easier for our bodies to process than synthetic caffeines, right? You don't get the jitters. You don't feel like you're about to bug out. Your skin doesn't crawl, but it gives you laser focus.
Yeah.
Right, and there's a lot of scientific evidence and research studies and large sample studies. Not 10 people did this and this outcome happened. So I don't believe in that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of studies about how well these three products, individually when combined, will provide better dopamine baseline for people, energy and clarity and focus and the ability to get through your day. Now the guayusa has a shelf life in your body at the concentrations we're doing here of it could be 6 to 8 hours, right? Now, of course, it tapers as you're going throughout the day, but so it's really about antioxidants, trying to cleanse your body a little bit. The ginger and turmeric help that. The guayusa is going to give you the energy, focus, and attention, and some nootropic effect to that, right? But together, to me, and this is something I take on a daily basis. And Johnny sees me in the morning mixing this stuff up, and I've got him started doing it. So I want to share it with you guys,
So just
right?
once a day?
Well, depending, like for athletes, right? I definitely recommend anybody to get started their morning because instead of coffee, try guayusa. You don't have to try mine, right? But at least try doing an alternative to coffee if you can.
What are the macros like on this one?
Which particular macro?
Like sugar
None.
and
Calories, none. It's
so
it's
zero
water.
calorie?
Use monk fruit to give it sweetness.
Okay.
Right.
Very good.
And then it's a high ginger shot, right? So the ginger that we use is actually a ginger. It's not an extract, but it's been refined, right? So it's a 330 is what we call it. So 1 gram of the stuff we use to make this has the equivalent health effect of gingerols and all the other active compounds in ginger. So you eat 1 gram of this, or you eat 330 grams of raw ginger.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
And then the same with the
Strong.
turmeric. So the turmeric, we found a turmeric supplier. It's all organic. Everything they have is organic, and the way they process it is very meticulous. I mean, it's a bunch of scientists that got together and said, let's create ingredients that are really, really good for you. So the turmeric is the same thing, the ratio. It's a 330.
So this is a one shot, one time. I'm assuming you guys sell more than like a...
We're not selling this yet.
Or you're going to?
It's going to go on Epic Keto Snacks. What we're doing right now is just refining a little bit on the final formulation and then the final packaging. Because, I'm not in love with this.
Not crazy
would you-
test tubes?
Yeah, right.
Would you guys offer like bigger, like a gallon version?
We could,
of
but the
these?
problem is dosing, right? And then you leave the dosing up to the individual. And, there's always, anytime you have like a stimulant,
I
a natural
see. So you can
caffeine,
just, like,
you want to make sure that, you give them enough where they don't like buzz out.
There's nothing
right?
to stop
It's like,
someone from buying
you know,
all those and drinking them one after the other. But
Exactly,
we want to
but
make
at
sure
least
that we
you
don't
still give them the dosing.
Exactly.
but it'd be like if we left it to self dosage at home, somebody might say, he sold it in a gallon and I drank a half a gallon. And I had to go to the hospital because I freaked out because my skin was crawling and I had too much caffeine in my system.
see.
Similar to that. So this way, we sell this. This is your suggested serving size. 1, maybe 3 a day, no more. Right?
Gotcha.
So we want to make sure it's a safe product for people to consume. Right. So you're going to get a really strong ginger bite because the ginger is delicious.
You chug it?
Yeah. I split it up. I kind of like that ginger burn.
Ooh, you are not kidding.
Yeah.
That-
Is that a bite, right?
Strong for you?
No, it's good.
Just checking.
It's not
Oh,
hot.
come on.
It's ginger.
Just
But I love it. It's a little burn. It's a ginger
I
burn.
love it. I think it tastes great.
Yeah. It's got that ginger bite. You're right. Big time.
Big time.
But it tastes good.
Yeah.
Okay, confession. It's actually 7-pot Primo powder in there.
You'll get it in a minute.
Just
It's
a
sitting
little
at the
bit.
bottom.
Just
Check
a
it out.
little
I
bit.
feel hotness.
Just a
No,
little
he's,
bit.
he's kidding.
No, I'm kidding you, man.
But it's going away.
I'm joking. It's just,
Listen, nothing
it's
that-
ginger, man. I wouldn't do that. I told you this morning. I wouldn't do that to you again. Again.
This is actually good.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah.
Good, huh?
I
Now
like
wait.
this.
In about 30 minutes or so, we'll start feeling the effects of the guayusa.
Now I
Right.
feel the hotness a little bit,
Yeah, and we'll
but
take
nothing crazy.
We'll take some of these for our next
I like it.
outing that we're going to have later today. Right.
Yeah.
I think it's got a great refresh. It pops. It's got a great flavor.
refreshing.
I dig it.
No, this is really good.
But yeah, check in a
I
little
would
bit.
drink
Probably
that.
while we still have this, you'd be like, wait a minute, what is that? You're going to feel a little bit of enlightenment. You're going to feel a little bit of uplift.
So I look forward to it. So we got like 30 minutes now. Like it's 11:15 a.m. right now.
Okay.
Let's see by like 11:45. See how we feel.
We'll do a check back in.
We will go get lunch, obviously. So that may just you're all right. That may just kind of
Old man issues.
crash us a little bit. All right, good stuff, dude. This is extremely
It's
fascinating.
exciting, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So Epic Keto Snacks. So I'm going to finish up and let you
Yeah,
take
go ahead,
over.
please.
But so yeah, we're gonna do like functional, nootropic kind of beverages, little shot, power shots. We're definitely doing the snacks, and then we're in the process of formulating, blending our own proteins. Right. So we'll do individual protein packs so that on the go kind of stuff. You can just pop it in your mixed bottle and so forth.
So I don't do any protein shakes anymore. It's been years.
What do you do?
I don't. I eat. I just eat food. Right.
A crap load of food.
I eat
Clearly.
food exactly.
What are you about? 220? What do you weigh?
I'm at 205.
You're at 205.
6'3", 205.
What's your protein macro? I mean, what are you at? 1.2, 1.5, or 2 grams per?
I do one.
One. Okay.
I try to go over one.
Right. That's a
But
lot of food.
sometimes
to
I
eat.
can't. I can't exactly.
Yeah.
But I do one, and I buy those pre-bottled proteins sometimes.
RTD drinks.
Yeah, one of those things.
RTD.
Because I just need. Sometimes I go to the gym. I'm like, I just want to chug something, right?
Right.
But I have years ago when I first started lifting weights and stuff. I used to, those your general, generic, whatever whey proteins, right? And I used to be able to find some decent tasting ones. Like I love banana cream, for example. Right? I like that taste. And lately,
Write that down.
lately, dude, I can't. In the last few years, I could not find a protein that's got the macros that I like.
Right.
Right.
Which
That's
are
work-
go through that real quick, just so I can know what an ideal protein
Well,
would be. Somebody at
I-
your
I-
level of fitness.
Yeah, I like high pro. Like it's just I don't want much carbs.
Okay.
I don't want much fat. It's generally concentrated, pretty much what you got over here. High protein.
Targeted macros.
Exactly. High protein.
Gotcha.
Very, very little fat. Very, very little carbs and zero sugar.
No sugar, right.
I don't
Right.
want sugar. Right.
Sugar's a drag.
That's it. And I have not been able to find. I found decent tasting protein powders, but they got a lot of fat, sugar, and all that stuff. Well, that's no longer protein shake for me.
Right.
Did
It's
you try
just a
the
shake.
Did you try the samples that I brought by?
I have not. I need to, and I will today. Well, they're here.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah, you got.
No, you have to taste them. You'll,
the same macros you'll find.
So there is
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and I've just been really wanting a protein shake,
Okay.
powder, whatever, and I couldn't find any, so I gave up. I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just gonna wake up in the morning, eggs and oatmeal, my beef and rice, some little veggies, and I'm going to sleep.
you know what?
We got you. We'll take
I'm the
that.
crash test dummy for Blazing Foods. I think you should be the crash test dummy for Keto Epic Snacks.
I agree. We'd love to have you on.
Seriously.
Excellent.
All right,
idea.
let's do it. I am absolutely on
And
board.
Then, and then we've got where's the other young man? His wife's a nutritionist, so we'll have a panel of
Perfect.
our guys, your guys, and
Absolutely, let's
go
do
from
it.
there.
You know what the funny thing? You know why that's important?
Thank
you. Yeah.
You know what I found with these products?
Because
Epic Keto Snacks. Education is the most important thing. Because people don't know,
and if
they don't
something-
know. If they know,
education, I agree, 100%. But at the same time, listen, man, I got a marketing mind too, because I feel like this: if I like something, and I like it, I use it. Right? I really enjoy it. I want to tell people.
of course, that's
I
the
want
way
to
it
tell
works.
my friends about it.
Absolutely.
And if I'm using this stuff,
You're gonna
that
tell
means
people.
I'm actually legitimately liking it. Because I won't just like to work with somebody. I won't just use it if I
Yeah,
don't do it.
just
I'll
the
never
same
do
way.
it. I'll never do it, dude. I don't care, right?
Right.
But if I'm using it, that means I legitimately like it. And if I like it, I want to tell my friends about it.
Right.
And I'll tell all. So 100%. This is really good. I love this stuff so far.
Oh, thank
love
you.
this thing. Can't wait to
need-
try the protein.
Yeah.
But hey, one caveat, right? So just got the website up, right, and got the products listed. But I did the website entirely myself, so please, guys at home, don't
So
make
don't
fun
go to
of
the
me.
website.
Yeah, so
No, you gotta go to the
I'm joking.
website.
it's not my wheelhouse, but it's functional. The
Yeah.
website is, so it's epicketosnacks.com.
Well,
But don't make fun of me.
And for Blazing Foods, is it just the deathnut.com or is it?
Well, so we
Blazing
use two different platforms. So Death Nuts was originally laid up on WordPress, right? And I created that website as well, and I'm terrible at it.
try this, guys.
And it's not very efficient.
Oh, yeah.
So we switched over to, because we were having some volume issues. We were crashing the server on Death Nuts because the way I structured that, it was highly inefficient server interaction. The database interaction was just completely wrong from the ground up. So we went to Shopify and set up Blazing Foods and the number 2.com, and that's more efficient. The bandwidth and the transfer speeds and all that are a lot better. So it's Blazing Foods with a 2.com.
Okay.
Blazing Foods
Blazing
2.
Foods,
The number 2. Don't spell it out. It's just the digit.
Number 2.
The digit. right.
Blazing Foods number 2
.com.
digits.com.
And that's
Okay.
Shopify.
No,
So they're quick, they're fast, they have great speeds. And
That's awesome.
We'll eventually redo Death Nuts, but it's
you
just,
guys maybe like kind of merge everything.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
we'll bring
good.
it all together at some point on a faster platform to have a better user experience.
And then we got epicketosnacks.com. Okay.
Yep.
This is awesome. Guys, really appreciate your time. Johnny Scoville, obviously.
Are we done?
No. So
wait.
there's one more thing. So we have enjoyed y'all's products, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
Wait, what
I
have we
think
done?
that's important that we have enjoyed your products. I think it's time for you guys to maybe come out and enjoy some of our products. So I'd like to cordially invite you to come out with us at some point.
I thought we were going to the range right now.
What?
That's literally what I thought. Is that
What?
50
I'm letting
Johnny.
our podcast people know that we're inviting them out to, maybe we could do a little melange.
you think you got some spice?
Fire meets
I
fire?
might
We got
have.
some spice.
I might have brought something. You never know.
We got some bigger. It's called 50
Oh
caliber.
my goodness.
We have
Johnny,
a surprise
Johnny.
If you want to.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
This one
Bring it.
used
No,
to
doesn't bite,
breed
right?
snakes, by the way.
There you go.
This guy used to breed snakes.
Come here.
Yeah.
Son, you know what that is.
I don't.
Oh,
it's just a
look at
big
this
white
thing.
snake to me. What a gorgeous
Okay.
animal.
Wow, look at this
Bob
thing.
Clark.
Hey, don't.
What
Did you get that from Bob Clark?
It's okay. It's okay.
What
it's
is
okay.
it?
It's a cow golden child reticulated python. This boy is 2 years old, and his name is Gandalf.
Look at this thing, guys.
Sorry, I had my ear thing.
That's
I couldn't hear it.
docile
What kind of
for a
snake is
retic.
it?
It is a cow golden child reticulated python.
Yeah.
He's 2 years
All right,
old.
buddy. All right. Come here,
His
buddy.
name is Gandalf.
Come here. My little boy.
When he's full grown, he's gonna be a monster.
Hey, listen. I was over at Buddy's house. We did some barbecue, right? So we're making ribs and chicken. And this guy lives kind of out in the country. Remember that? Kind of lives out in the country. And I'm firing the smoker up. It's wood stick smoker, right? So it takes about an hour to get the thing up to temperature. And I look out in this field, and I see this huge black thing slithering across. You remember that picture? It's just a black garter snake. But I went over to investigate. I had to go, what is this all about? And like, I grew up in the country. I grew up on a farm, right? When I was a little kid in a place called China Grove, North Carolina, right? And that's what we did in the summer. We get out of school, hit the woods, and we just play out in the woods all day. We catch snakes, spiders, and all that. Mom would lose her absolute mind. We'd bring this crap home, right? And I was like, well, I haven't caught a snake in a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 40-some years, right? But I figured it'd be a good idea to go catch a snake. So I went over and picked it. The snake was a black garter snake, and it was about this big, right? About this long, about that big around. Trapped him, picked him up, and I held him straight out like this, and his tail was still on the ground. That's how big this snake was.
I think snakes are like, I'm finding them to be very interesting.
I bred them years ago.
What?
25 years ago, I bred some really exotic boas.
Can I?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know much about snakes. Oh, what is
Do you want me to help you?
Now, are there any special instructions on how to hold a snake?
Oh,
I've never
she's-
held a pet snake before. I held that garter up by his neck though, but I think I might have choked him
No,
out
no,
a little
he's-
bit because I was scared. It's been a long
Literally,
time
what
since
I
I've done
noticed
that.
about,
Yeah.
like, thanks to Jennifer, right? They're very fascinating. Oh, there you go. That's the cable.
They're
Okay.
curious.
They're very fascinating. Like, I think they're just so good looking.
As far as retics,
like
that's a
this, like
very
this?
docile retics. They're usually snippy.
Yeah,
You know?
I have other ones.
Dude, it's just like,
I've had
did you
some
see like
that
she's
were-
just going all over
That
me?
did not like to be
Yeah,
touched
she likes
at
it.
all.
She likes me.
I
Hey,
had some
sweetheart.
Burmese pythons that were very, very docile.
I mean, if I was a
Pet
girl.
roasted.
Oh,
I also
yeah.
had
Oh my god.
a green.
Yeah, she's curious. She's just going all over. I wouldn't let. Yeah, move the
Different
cable.
words,
So those of you out there who have interesting jobs, that's one of the really cool things about the warehouse here is that
Dude.
we can just get snakes delivered.
Jennifer is awesome.
Yeah.
man. I love it.
She's got me.
How many animals do you
She's holding on
She
tight.
was like wrapping herself around me and stuff.
48 or 49.
Gosh, she's lovely.
Oh, I've got an idea.
Uh-oh.
You go into a snake pit. I'm not even
I
joking.
like snakes. It wouldn't be a problem. I used to have
Way to shot me down.
Just like that.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with snakes.
Or sharks, apparently.
Not like a Fear Factor thing.
Okay.
right?
I just thought he'd be like in a snake pit and just like eating
Wow,
hot
that is
stuff.
spectacular.
I mean, that is a gorgeous.
Thank
As soon
you.
as we're done, I'd like some. Where's John? Some pro photos, please. But anyways, okay. So
want a video of this,
here's what I want to say.
All right.
Guys, it's been a pleasure having you guys over here.
Oh,
Check
thank you
out
so much for having us, really.
EpicKetoSnacks.com,
Thanks for coming.
BlazingFoods2digit2.com. Amazing products.
JohnnyScoville.com.
JohnnyScoville.com.
Hulu.
Also, YouTube.
Hulu,
Yep,
YouTube,
YouTube
Chase
channel.
the Heat.
Exactly. Fantastic people. Literally very interesting for me. If you guys like hot stuff, obviously we got them. If you guys are into some fitness stuff, even if you're not into fitness stuff, you want to actually sit at home, snack on something that's actually good for you, even if you're not working out, snack on this.
Yeah, if you want to lose weight.
Yeah, just anything.
Replace your dirty snacks with clean snacks.
Literally. If you don't work out at all, don't do anything at all. This is literally for everybody.
Right.
Just sit there and snack and watch it because it tastes really good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
But yet it's not going to hurt you like some freaking chips and stuff. So check them out, guys. And as Matt said, we would like to invite you to the arena of classic firearms.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
Threaten me with a good time. I can't wait.
Hell yeah,
Let's get to it
baby!
then. Thanks for checking out, guys, and let us
Thanks
know
for
in the
having
comment
us.
section.
Thank you, Kaya.
Thank you for having
Your
us.
thoughts.
Thank you for
And
It's always fun hanging out with you.
let
guys.
us
We
know in the
always have a
comment
great time.
section some challenge ideas for Johnny Scoville for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, or product ideas
or-
for Blazing Foods if you want spicy, or
The Epic Keto
yeah,
snacks.
like healthy keto-friendly snacks. If you have product ideas, let us know.
Or food ideas, maybe non-spicy food ideas for challenges for the Outside the Warehouse channel, because Kaya.
And not nasty stuff either. Some
Hey, let me ask you something, Kaya. Would you be open to, because we talked about maybe doing, for people that don't like hot peppers, right, do a spicy ginger snack that would be a bit of a challenge because you felt how peppery and warm that
but it
was.
felt, yeah, I'd be
excuse
open to
me.
that all day
Okay,
long.
cool.
Yes,
Gotcha.
all day long.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's the stuff that gets me later on, which you guys know what I'm talking about.
We all know.
pause.
The bubble over your head. The bubble over your head spoke volumes, dude.
Yeah, that's. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks a lot, guys,
Thank you, guys.
and we'll see you guys on the next one. We're going to the range. Let's get out of here.
Let's do it.